Israelis head to the polls again this week for the second national election in less than a year. Their vote will potentially reshape the country's political landscape. At stake, Benjamin Netanyahu's place as the country's longest-serving prime minister. Special correspondent Ryan Chilcote is there with the story.
Being here in the vineyards makes me far enough from politics. I'm a sad Israeli these days because I don't see values.
Hadar Doron is a fifth-generation farmer and winemaker. He has always voted for Likud, the party most aligned with his Zionist views, led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. This time, he has reservations. What do you think about Benjamin Netanyahu?
He's a very intelligent, he's very clever. So it looks so fine, it looks so good. But it isn't. So many suspicions.
Jerusalem's main market is a busy, festive place. Long gone are the days of suicide bombings. The economy has been strong. And yet, when it comes to politics, there's division and deadlock. After Israel's longest-serving prime minister failed to build the necessary coalition in parliament and form a government after elections in April, Netanyahu called for another one, just 1 month before he's to face legal proceedings for bribery and breach of trust.
The Machane Yehuda market is a stronghold of support for the Likud party and Benjamin Netanyahu himself. But the allegations of corruption that have dogged this prime minister for years may be chipping away at that support, just like the tactics his critics say he uses to stay in power. Whether those concerns are enough to topple him, that's something this election will show.
Netanyahu is by far Israel's most popular politician, but his party is leaving nothing to chance. Today, they're out rallying the troops. Gilad Erdan is Netanyahu's Minister for Public Security. Some voters could be put off by the allegations against the prime minister, he says, but Netanyahu is innocent until proven guilty.
We've talked to a lot of Likud supporters. They say everything that Likud is doing is great. They have an issue with the prime minister and the allegations of corruption. What do you say to that?
We have to remember that all the achievements of the Likud and the government in the last decade was under the leadership of Prime Minister Netanyahu. So we have to respect the principles of democracy. They voted for him to lead the Likud and the country, and he strengthened the state of Israel. Unless he will be convicted in a final verdict, he can continue to run the country.
Israel's once dominant left-wing parties have been sidelined, but members of one turn up. As the two collide, it becomes clear just how heated Israeli politics can get. Laura Wharton is a member of the city council.
He attacks the justice system, he attacks the free press, he attacks his own Knesset, and he's ruining the basic democracy.
Netanyahu's biggest challenge in this election comes from this man. Benny Gantz served as Netanyahu's military chief of staff until just before the April election, when he and the blue and white party he leads sprang onto the political stage and got the same number of seats in parliament as Likud. His supporters say it's time for another kind of politics without Netanyahu.
At this point, he's all about survival, his personal political survival. I think Benny Gantz, he represents the new style of leadership, leadership of values, of morals, of ethics.
Not to be outdone, Netanyahu too was in the limelight, holding a cabinet meeting in the Jordan Valley, an area that accounts for a full third of the West Bank. Just days after announcing Israel will annex the occupied territory after the election, he declared the government will also add another settlement to the more than 130 Israel already has.
You want me to be a prophet? Okay, yeah, in Jerusalem, and after we are not allowed to be prophets anymore.
Hebrew University's professor Gideon Rahat has been watching Israeli elections for more than 2 decades. But don't ask him who will come out on top. It may not even be up to them.
Seeing the election in Israel as only a horse race is a mistake, because at the end of the day, the third horse, the small horse, might decide what the 2 big horses will do at the end of the day.
That small horse and potential kingmaker is Avigdor Lieberman and his right-wing secular party, Israel Beitenu. A former bouncer, Lieberman became something akin to Netanyahu's personal assistant, then did stints as foreign and defense minister, before breaking ranks. After the last election in April, Lieberman declined to join a Netanyahu-led coalition with the ultra-Orthodox religious parties, leaving his former boss short of the seats needed to form a government, a first in the history of Israel. Yanon Shahar is a Lieberman volunteer. The objective, he says, is to force Likud into a government of national unity.
So what kind of government will we have? Will our prime minister be, held hostage by ultra-right parties or ultra-Orthodox parties? Or will we have a governments of the majority of the people who can do good for the majorities of Israel?
Israeli Arabs may also have a hand in shaping the next government. They make up a sixth of the electorate, but many abstain from voting. If they turn out in larger numbers, they will weaken Netanyahu's hand. General Amos Yadlin headed Israel's military intelligence. Today, he runs the nation's most influential think tank on national security. When it comes to Israel's relations with the Palestinians and Israel's adversaries, there's little disagreement amongst the candidates.
What's at stake in this election?
Let me tell you what is not in this election. Most of the Israelis agreed on Iran. There is no left and right on Iran. Most of the Israelis agreed on how to deal with Hezbollah. There is no left and right on it. Most of the Israelis agree on Gaza.
That hard line is popular with most Israelis. It's also supported by President Trump, something Netanyahu likes to highlight any chance he gets.
In Israel, it is smart because Trump is seen as the best friend of Israel. With his recognition of our annexation of the Golan Heights, moving the embassy to Jerusalem, all of these things are seen by many Israelis as very good signs for the best friend we ever had.
Likud's top leaders are out rallying the nation's farmers. No mention of the corruption allegations here. Many voters already have an opinion. In a recent poll, 52% of Israelis say they trust the legal system. 34% agree with Netanyahu, who claims the courts are out to get him.
I checked it, and it's all BS. Sorry about that.
Do you ever get sick of wine?
Back on his vineyard north of Tel Aviv, Hadar Doron isn't so sure. But the veteran Likud supporter says he'll put his ideology first.
I hope very much it's all fake news.
But you have your concerns.
I'm worried. I'm a father, first of all. I'm a father who grows children and grandchildren. In what country? In a corrupted one or in an honest one?
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Ryan Chilcote in Ben Yamina, Israel.